and all this jealousy and gossip which people do. Gossip's all right as long as you tell the nice things about other people. They're really good people, and because I've been around a long time and know a lot of you, I know who the really nice people, good people are. And all the time these people, when they get to that stage of meditation, their light in their mind is just so brilliant and beautiful. Obviously because they're bright and beautiful people. Now that's a very important understanding to have, because that's what you'll experience when you die. You'll experience the beauty or the lack of beauty of your own mind. And that's what will take you into a heaven realm or into a lesser realm. You can see the process happening. You don't have to have great psychic powers, you can actually see it for yourself. If you don't believe that, when you get into these deep meditations, you can even ask yourself, and this is, I've been trying this for a long time with my disciples, and once I get into deep meditation, I ask them to make the resolution, what's my earliest memory? What's my earliest memory? It only works when you're at that type of stage, sort of nimitta stage or after a jhana. Because when you ask that question, these images arise in your mind straight away. These are early life memories. If you read my book here, it's the only one which I can tell you, because I'm not allowed to sort of say too much about psychic powers and stuff. The only ones which I can tell you is when I first did this and got this smell in my nose. And this is not imagination anymore. You're smelling it as if it's right here in front of you. It's a real smell. My eyes closed. And I recognized it straight away. It was the smell of my baby's pram. And immediately I was back in my pram. A re-experience, even though I was sitting meditation. I think this first happened when I left Thailand coming to Perth. You were back in your baby's pram. And with that experience, you could, as your eyes were closed, you could see everything clearly as if you had your eyes open. And there I could see my baby's pram and all the old toys which I used to have in it. And I could play around in there. It was a vision from the past. As I say in the book, when you have these experiences, one of their hallmarks is this absolute certainty that was you. In the same way there's absolute certainty it's you right here looking at me or hearing this talk. The same degree of certainty. Weird but true. Then you can ask yourself, earlier please. Well, earlier please. And people then actually get their life in the mother's womb very often. Or they get an earlier time, another place, another time, another body. You actually remember yourself in a previous life. So these are things which take away all your superstitions. Because this is real positive experience. But this is my experience. You can't believe me. Please don't believe me. Because that's more superstition. Taking it on granted from somebody else. You have to find, even though the Buddha kept on saying about that, even though there's books by people like Professor Ian Stevenson, who researched all of this and did a lot of good work trying to present the evidence for reincarnation or rebirth. Once you see it for yourself, you don't need those books anymore, because you know for yourself. And that's something you can do in this life. You don't have to wait until you die, when it's a bit late if you're wrong. And that's one of the wonderful things where you can cut through all this superstition. And imagine if you had that knowledge for yourself, that own personal knowledge that you've lived before. And you understand why rebirth happens and how the karma works. Wouldn't that really sort of cut away all this superstition and all this doubt and all understanding of what I should do in this life and how I should act and what should happen? Wouldn't it cut away your fear of death and understanding what happens to other people when they die and worrying about short lives or long lives or what the meaning of life truly is?